All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again. I see we got three people, probably me and Larry, and you, Marion. Yes, happy midnight to you. Tonight, we might have Osama and Eric, I don't know. We're on chapter 15, but before we get started in this perfect book, let's do a little intro. All righty now, let's get the show on the road. Let me go back up here. Okay, actually, you know what? Let me take the guys off. Let me remove this and remove from studio.
Or you can just push
Larry,
us
good
to
to
the
see
left.
you.
That'll work too.
What will?
A different set, the different setting where the pictures are to the left rather than on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm actually just gonna go here because
Okay, there you go.
it cuts off. It cuts off.
Yeah, that
Okay.
works.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be back and forth. So hopefully, if Osama or Eric shows up, I'm gonna go to my um, screen here. All right. Chapter 15, the chapter of the rock. We don't have to read the Bismillah, and of course, first verse, ALR. What does Osama say? A
A
word
word
containing
that
three
nobody
Arabic.
knows.
Oh, okay. So you got it up.
Only Allah knows, right?
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much, pretty much. Okay. The infidels will wish they had been Muslims. Huh.
Hang
All
on a
right.
minute. Let's go back to that first verse because I had a
Oh,
question on that first verse.
ALR, these are the verses of the book and a clear Quran.
So, doesn't that mean that we are reading more than the revelation of Allah?
I would imagine so because it's
You
talking
know,
about it's
it's an
talking about
interesting
these are the
statement.
verses of the book and a clear Quran.
So what were we reading before? If these are
An
the verses of the book and a clear Quran, what were we reading before?
an unclear Quran. Now Muslims will say the book is referring to the book that's in the tablets with Allah. That's their excuse because Allah is not very he's not very efficient in giving us the required information that we need to ascertain what the hell is this guy trying to say. And here I am sounding all lawyery. Okay, well we know if one thing is for sure, there is nothing clear in this book. All
Right,
right.
but I don't think that explanation would work because isn't the Quran supposed to be in the eternal tablets too in that
Well, yeah,
book?
the Quran is supposed to be revelations that is in the eternal tablet, uh, because they say the Quran means to recite or recitation. Doesn't necessarily mean a book, but we all know that you know you got to have a book to be able to recite from it.
No, you don't. Oral recitation.
Yeah,
That's
but the problem is that not everybody, only the earlier people. So you'd have to have every single Muslim around the world to be able to memorize all 114 chapters, 6,000, whatever,
yeah.
number of verses. So you need something written, or you need somebody to keep repeating it to you verbally, you know.
Yeah, and you
So
can't
they
tell
took the
if people memorize it correctly
yeah,
if it's not written down.
they took the easy way out and they just wrote it down. Yeah, and also if it's not written down, how do you really know that? Um, what you're reciting is exactly what was originally recited. I mean, only one person has the answer, and that's Allah, and he's not telling us because if I tell Larry to tell you something, and he goes to you and he says, "Hey, Dr. Kufrophobia told me to say this," how do you know that Larry is telling you 100% what I told him to tell you in the exact way that I told him, that he's not adding or subtracting?
Yeah, and
You
people do
can't.
that subconsciously too.
You got to come to me and ask me, "Hey, Paul said that the sky was blue and that Robin Hood was 6 foot tall." Then I'll say, "No, I told him to tell you that the sky was blue and Robin Hood was 6'5". He left out the half an inch. That makes a big difference. So yeah. All right, let's go to verse number 2. And I think this chapter has 90 verses, so I don't think we're going to finish it, but we'll be pretty close. All right, 2. Perhaps. Now, this is supposed to be Allah speaking, and Allah starts off on a bad foot. Perhaps those who became infidels wish that they were Muslims. Doesn't Allah know if they wish that they were Muslims or not?
Well, this is the God of perhaps. So, I mean,
Yeah, God, or perhaps the gods may be, and.
mhm.
All right, let them eat and enjoy, and hope distracts them, so they will know. They will know what?
That doesn't make any sense. Let them eat and enjoy and hope. I mean, if hope distracts them from this, that says whatever Allah is doing is bad.
I mean,
Hope is something you want. I mean, hope is a promise. So what
right.
hope is? If hope is the good thing, this tells you why they leave.
And then it says, and hope distracts them, so they will know. Know what? And we did not destroy a village except that it had known. Well, I'm sorry. I'm starting already. That it had a known written decree. What decree would that be? I haven't seen the decree
Here's
yet.
the other problem here. There's a severe problem here is that even, I don't know about today, but even at this time, there was a lot of languages that had no written language. And I believe it wasn't, I don't know when Arabic actually became officially written down, but Arabic actually became written down. I mean, it's something to think about.
Okay, so we don't know what this decree is that's written down. That Allah gives a written decree, and then I guess if you don't follow it, then he destroys the village.
Well, traditionally, that would be what Muhammad tells you to come to Allah and submit. Sorry, submit to Allah. And if you don't submit to Allah, then there's jihad.
So yeah, but I think this is referring to all the other past prophets too. So
yeah,
I'm not sure if there was
which
jihad
again
back then.
proves a problem because many languages did not have a written language at that point.
Yeah. All right, number 5. No nation can hasten on their doom, nor can they delay it. Okay. What does Osama say? Throughout the Quran, Muhammad continues to assert that he is not demon possessed. I'm sorry, but if you got to keep convincing people you're not demon possessed, you're demon possessed.
I was going to say that's pretty assuring, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Muhammad keeps telling people he has to. I mean, this is one of the things I think is humorous. He keeps having to talk to people about him not being demon possessed. That says something pretty powerful. I mean, why would anybody have to keep saying this? I mean, doesn't that tell you there's something to be concerned about?
Yep. What does Osama say? He says, see chapter 26. No, I'm sorry. He says, see verses 26, 27, 34.
And this is what I'm saying. This is what I say. He has to keep saying he's not demonically possessed. They ask him for a sign to prove that he's not demonically possessed, and he can't do it.
Oh, because Allah doesn't really like Muhammad. And they said, "O you to whom the reminder has been sent down on," God, that hurts, Surely you are demon possessed. Why do you not bring to us angels if you were among the truthful? We will not send down the angels except with the truth, and they were not delayed. So it sounds like Allah sent down angels with the truth. But where did He send them to?
Well, who are they saying is demon possessed? I'm assuming they're talking about Muhammad, right? But then who are they talking about bringing angels? Are they referring to Muhammad bringing angels, or are they talking about Allah? I'm a little confused here.
Well, join the rest of us because I have no clue. I don't even know who these people are. And they said, who's they? Is this the Maccans talking to Muhammad? And were they talking about the reminder? Because Moses received a reminder, the Torah. The Torah is also called a reminder or a dikar. Not the sexual one, but all right. Yeah, I have no clue. This is the
Well,
clearest.
you know what I've noticed. Like when the Quran tries to tell a Bible story, it's a mess. But you can kind of add the Bible to that what they're saying and kind of get an idea of what they're saying. But when they go away from the Bible, it is just a absolute disaster.
The whole thing is a mess.
Brother Usama, good to see you this time.
Hello,
Glad you could
brothers.
make it. I hope you had a nice dinner. It was probably
No,
quick.
I did not eat, brother. Seriously, I have not had breakfast. We work in the church here to set up for tomorrow's show. We have some problem with the wires, so it took me longer than I thought. So I still did not have breakfast. I am fasting Ramadan. It's gonna get dark outside. I'm gonna eat all night long.
Yeah, I'm gonna join you because I haven't had dinner either.
No breakfast, man. Iftar means the breakfast, breaking the fast.
I would be hangry. Hungry, angry.
All right, where are we at? Let's
We
get
are
to the,
on
to the
chapter
Quran study.
15,
Yeah,
verse number 9.
that's 15:9.
Yes.
15.
That's my favorite verse. We use that verse to prove to our Muslim friends that the Quran teaches that Allah is the one who keeps His words. And no one is stronger than Allah. There, mashallah, the Quran is telling us the Bible is excellent. You know, it's amazing. When you talk about that verse, and I'm sorry to get into the subject as I was sitting with you the whole hour. When you get in that verse, Muslim will lie and tell you the reminder here is the Quran. Why? Because if it is going to be kept without any corruption, it has to be the Quran. Because otherwise, the Bible will not be corrupted, and we believe the Bible is corrupted. Therefore, Allah said, surely we have sent down the reminder, and surely we will be its keeper. Allah is talking about the Quran, not the Bible. But what about the verses in the Bible and the Quran where Allah said, and to you, that is Moses, not Muhammad, and to you we send down the reminder. Or what do you think of the verse in the Quran where Allah said, ask the people of the reminder, the Jews and the Christians?
Yep.
Hello? Is somebody there? Anyway.
Right there, verse 21, chapter 21, verse 48. And verily we gave Musa and Harun the criterion, the furqana, and a light and a reminder.
Oh, Allah gave a prophet Moses a peace be upon him, the Quran, not the Torah, the Quran, not the Old Testament, but the Quran. MashaAllah. Yeah. It must be true. If Muslims said it, it must be true. Anyway, it is an empty argument. When you talk to Muslims and they will tell you the reminder, here is the deal. If you're in love with your wife or with your fiance to be married to, or your girlfriend, and she will send you a letter or she will write you a beautiful note, and I hope and I pray this will never happen, that you lost this beloved one by death. How do you remember her? The best way to remember her is to read these notes, is to read these letters, and you continue to think of all the good things happened between you and her and the great relationship you have together. She's the mama of your children and the love of your life. Okay, That's how you remember. So the word of Allah is a reminder to the people of Allah, because when you read the Bible, you remember God's command, you remember God's words, you remember God's advice. You remember, you see, that is why the Quran and the Bible, Old Testament and New Testament, are called the reminder. When you read the word of Allah, you remember Allah.
That's pretty important.
That's logic, common sense. But you cannot tell me, since that verse here said Allah is the one who's going to protect it, that means he's not talking about the Bible. Excuse me. When Allah gave his word to Moses, was it perfect or was corrupted? Oh, it was corrupted. So was the word of Allah given to Moses, and it was perfect. Good. When Allah gave Isa the book, which we don't believe in any this nonsense, Jesus is the word of Allah. How can Jesus be the word of Allah and receive a word from Allah? Make no sense. Even the Bible said Jesus is the word of God, who is God, John 1:1, who is the creator of all things. So Jesus did not receive a message from God. Jesus Christ is the message of God, the message of salvation, the good news. But anyway, when Allah spoke to Isa, peace be upon him, according to Islam, and he told him to write down some of these verses of the book of the gospel, was it corrupted? Was it accurate? It was accurate. Okay. What do you think of the verse in the Quran where it says, surely, where it says, none can change the words of Allah. Now, let me remind you, there's a very powerful verse in the Quran where Allah told Muhammad, we did not send any messenger before you except that we have inspired. Which means literally every person who wrote a line or a sentence or a chapter or a book, of all the books which came before Muhammad in the Bible, are inspired word of Allah. So it is the word of Allah, and no one can change the word of Allah. Therefore, we come to the conclusion the Bible is the perfect word of Allah. And since it is, then it cannot be changed, it cannot be corrupted. Allah's book here is the reminder. And Allah is the one who protects it. It doesn't matter if it's Bible, Quran, the book of fairy tales. If it is from Allah, it is not to be changed. It's always to be protected. And that is the job of Allah, if Allah is God. And since we don't believe in Allah is God, it doesn't matter really. Does it?
Well, here's something that's interesting, because the verse that Muslims like to use to state that the Quran is going to be protected, the 15:9, where it says, indeed, we have sent down the reminder, and indeed, we of it are surely guardians. Well, okay, who's guardian? Because that word is a plural, which means three or more. That's a problem right there. Surely guardians. And the reminder, why is Allah and which one? 21:7, he says, and not we sent before you except men. So what does that mean? That he sent women before? We reveal to them, so ask the people of the reminder if you do not know. So if the reminder, here we see that Musa got a reminder. Allah is telling Muhammad or somebody in 21:7 to go and ask the people of their reminder. In 1643, he says, and not we sent from before you except men, which is kind of like a derivation.
All the men who ever wrote in the Quran, according to the Quran, who wrote in the Bible. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and well, 1643 is actually a paraphrasing 21:7, and it says, and not we sent from before you except men, we reveal to them. So ask the people of the reminder.
Brother, there are plenty of evidence in the Quran that the Bible is the perfect word of God for those who want to know it. So they may use that verse. It's only the Quran. You mean the word of Allah before the Quran is not the word of Allah? It does not help the people to remember Allah? I mean, if you think about the word reminder, zikr, to remember, it's actually the command of God in the Old Testament when God spoke to Moses and said, write them on your finger, put them on your forehead. What? To remember. This is the laws of God. He does not want the Jewish people. So even the idea beyond that statement or that verse or that phrase, it is biblical. It's talking about the Bible teaching, Moses' writings. See? But if Muslims do not want to believe in that because they choose to be fool, that's a different story. Guys, I have to take this phone call from Egypt. It's very important. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So
Hello?
let's continue. Verse 9. Surely we have sent down the reminder, not number 2, according to Osama, is Bible. Okay, so and surely we have sent down the reminder, Bible, and surely we will be its keeper. Oh, I was just talking about that verse, chapter 15:9. Okay. And indeed, we sent before you and the set of the ancients. Hold on a
Might want to
second.
mute him for now.
Yeah, let me go ahead and mute him. Okay. Okay, surely we have sent down the reminder, the Bible, and surely we will be its keeper. And indeed, we sent before you and the sects of the ancients, and no messenger came to them except they were scoffing at him. Okay.
So
I
what
wonder
does that
why.
mean that I'm assuming that's Allah is the keeper
Uh,
and that he's the keeper of the Bible?
I would think so.
So how
I
good a
mean-
job did Allah do at
Well, that's the point that Usama was making, is that he's supposed to be the keeper of the Bible, so he has to. That means that the Bible can't be corrupted, and that's, while today's followers of Islam make that claim, the Quran makes a totally different claim.
But even when you investigate what Allah said in the Quran here, you find it's not true. I will use the Quran to prove to you that's not true.
Yes, that's what my point is. Yes.
Yeah. And can you tell me where in the Quran people mocked Moses?
And
Where in
that's why David Wood said, "Hey, I'll convert to Islam as soon as you can prove to me any place in the Quran that the Bible is corrupt. All you have to do is find me one verse that
you
shows
could
me that."
not. You
they
could
couldn't.
not.
In fact, there were people, well-known Islamic scholars, contemporary scholars, that would say there isn't anything.
Well, it's true. But even we said here, he said, and no messenger came to them except they were scoffing at him. I guarantee you, nobody scoffed at Moses. Nobody. I mean, he was reverent in God beyond imagination. I know that some people grumble, but not scoff. Scoff meaning make fun of.
Yes.
So
Who
who
was
are they
making
coming
fun
to
of
here?
Isa?
That's the question. No messenger came to them. Who's them?
them, the people who were before whom Allah sent to them messengers. But think about also like Dr. Kafir, he said what? Who mocked Jesus? Can you show me anywhere in the Quran they mocked Jesus? They scoffed at Jesus?
I can say the chief priests and the.
No, not
And
to
they're
scoff, not to make fun of. They rejected his message. They did not believe, but not in the Quran. The Quran does not give you these details.
Oh yes.
I mean, he is wajihan fi dunya wa fil akhirah. He was exalted in this world and he's exalted in the hereafter. A holy son, a holy baby, for heaven's sake. He was born as a holy miraculously. And even when you read the stories of the Quran and you read the interpretation of it by Muslim scholars, they would tell you when Isa was a little boy and he created the bird out of clay. I mean, that's a miracle. He spoke as an infant. That's a miracle. Who will scoff a babe, a day old, talking like a man?
Good point.
And the great miracles which he performed all his life, according to the Quran. When you raise a dead, people don't make fun of you. Trust me. People may worship you, but they will not make fun of you.
That's true.
Man, if you can raise them, you can bury them.
Yeah, well, it's the argument of the Muslim is so weak. Unless you
Yes.
just want to deceive yourself and pretend what you're telling is the truth, and mashallah is this, mashallah is that, God help us. Then I cannot help you. Then I literally cannot help you.
All right, number 12, verse 12.
Yes.
Likewise, we will instill into the hearts of the criminals. Instill what?
You know what? Me and Adam Seeker decided to come up with the 5. You know what 5 is? It's the 5th. the Fifth Amendment in America, it is to be quiet. You don't have to say anything. But we're going to say not just 101, 101, which means from now on, if you ever ask me a question and in Islam there is no answer, all what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the Fifth Amendment, 101. You open the Quran, chapter 5, verse 101, right now. Read to me what Allah said there.
Just a second. Where'd I put it?
Now it ends the argument. For sure.
Where is it?
That's a miracle, man. 101. And you know what 101 is in Islam, in natural? 101 on this.
Okay, I got it. Oh, you who have believed, do not ask about things.
Thank you. Not anymore. I don't want to read it. It's over. 101. You got the answer? That's my answer. Don't ask.
Don't ask.
Like Bill Clinton said, don't
This is
ask.
where they say throughout your brain. Oh my gosh.
There's no reason. Only in Christianity, God used your brain seriously for you to use it. God made you the brain, but in Islam, take your brain out of between your ears, make it an empty box, and it fit perfectly in Islam. You don't have any problem. Everything will be smooth like silk.
I'm going to have to find that video clip about the Muslim saying, if something in the Quran contradicts my brain, I take my brain out.
Sure.
So I can play that.
That is the only way. You know why? Because we talked about that before, guys. In Islam, Allah could use these things which cause you to think to make you an infidel. Do you want to be an infidel? Answer my question. Do you want to be an infidel? Allah gave in the Quran some ambiguous verses, and He used these verses to lead some people to hell. Do you want to go to hell? No, then ignore it. 101. Don't ask. Fifth. Zip it.
See, Paul, if I would have written this sentence and turned it in, and I wrote the sentence, likewise, we will instill into the hearts of criminals, I would get an F. That's an incomplete sentence.
Okay, it would work because of the word it, but the question would be, you would still be asking, what is it?
I'm going to help you. I know you really need some help, and I'm going to help you. It's what chapter we're in? What chapter now? 15?
Yeah, 15, 12.
And verse 12. I'm going to give you the interpretation. Which scholar do you like to read?
Yeah, let's go to Qurtubi.
You know what? The first one, open Qurtubi here.
Oh, there you go.
قوله تعالى كذلك نسلكه أي الضلالة. He meant to be led astray and kufr and infidelity والاستهزاء والشرك, and to mock and to be a polytheist. Shirks, which to commit the sin of shirk, which have more than one Allah, in the heart of the criminals. So what he meant by the word mislukuhu, it is dalala, infidelity. Dalala means to be led astray, infidelity, mocking, and shirk in the heart of the criminals. What is your problem now? You got the answer? Al-Qurtubi give you an answer, but in reality, the verse did not say that. It could be anything. As a matter of fact, that's why when you read Muslim scholars' interpretation to the Quran, they disagree about what Allah meant by what He said, and they can give you 10 different opinions, and you have to end it by the famous statement, "Wallahu a'lam," and Allah knows best, because you don't know. What's your problem? You must be an infidel, are you? You look like an infidel to me. I can smell infidelity in you. You infidel. Anyway. So now we're finished with it. Now we know what Allah meant by what He said. But why can't Allah tell us in the Quran what He meant exactly?
Allah can't communicate clearly, and He can't get anybody to communicate what He meant clearly. So He's not very powerful.
Now, listen. That's the first sentence. Let me give you the other one. Mujahid, on the other hand, said he meant the lies. Nuslukhu al-takzib, the lie. Okay? Let me give you somebody else. In case if you don't have enough, man, I can give you plenty of interpretation. All right. Adi ibn Yazid, he said, وقد سلكوك في يوم عصيب والسلك بالكسر الخيط. Khayt means like the thread you used to saw something. قيل المعنى الناس. Oh no, no, listen to that now. Oh my world. As المعنى نسلك القرآن في قلوبهم, that we will cause the Quran to be entered their hearts. See, in one hand is a lie, infidelity, or shirk. In the other hand, it could be the Quran. Which one do you like, brothers? Are you lost now, or you need some more?
That's pretty good. That's
Well,
that's
simple
pretty
word.
I
It
think the
could be
more
the
we read, the
Quran.
more we get lost.
Yeah, it could be the Quran. It could be the lies. It could be infidelity or shirk or mocking. You can choose any one of these and put it there, and it will be beautiful. And Allah knows best. Don't forget, after you give all these crazy opinion, you have to end by the statement Wallahu a'lam, and Allah knows best, because otherwise you may earn a big punishment from Allah. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Don't you love that? This is the beauty of the Quran, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it. And can we say the Shahada together right now? Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Say, guys. All right, move on. Next verse, brother. Move now.
13.
18, yes.
They do not believe in him, and indeed the custom of the ancients have passed away.
Wow. Do you know who is him?
I have no clue.
Oh, it could be the Quran. It could be Muhammad. It could be Isa. It could be whatever you want him to be. Allah could be him. Or the angel of Muhammad, Jibreel. It could be him. Because we know Jibreel is a he, not a she. You see? I give you already 8 interpretation. Which one do you like? But to make it fair, let's go to Al-Qurtubi, your favorite Al-Qurtubi. You like Al-Qurtubi, okay? And let's see what is him. Okay, Al-Qurtubi gave me the second piece of the verse, not the first piece.
I gotta silence myself for just a
let
second.
me give it to somebody. Al-Qurtubi missed the first half. Let's go to Al-Tabari. I'm sorry. That's better. يقول تعالى ذكر لا يؤمن بهذا القرآن. He's talking about the Quran here. No one will believe in this Quran of your people except those whom the lie those whom the lie enters their hearts until they see the torment. And then they talk about Ad and Samud. We have read this story 300 times already. And the other nations which Allah gives send them messenger before Muhammad. These people did not believe what Allah sent to them, and then it was destroyed. You know what I believe here? I believe Muhammad's so smart. He created a bunch of story made up, Ad and Samud and Salih. Remember the camel? Remember?
Oh, the she camel.
The she, yeah, she. It have to be she, not a he. Now, Muhammad made up the stories and ended in these stories how these people of these made up imaginary prophet, they were destroyed. And by the way, you could not find any evidence of its existence. Allah destroys them powerfully, and that proves that the story is true. So since we do not have any evidence of their existence and Allah destroys them, that means the story is true. No, you idiot, you need some archaeological evidence. Noah's Ark still here. We can see it in Mount Ararat. Sodom and Gomorrah, we still see the sulfur, big ball of sulfur in the ground there. And the Jericho walls is in the ground. You know, there's so many evidence. The crossing of the Red Sea, we got evidence of the crossing of the Red Sea. Why can't Allah give us any evidence to prove that Muhammad's story is true? But here's the catch. These people saw the torment, and these people were destroyed. None of your people, Muhammad, will believe in the Quran until they see the torment. Go ahead, Muhammad, kill them, annihilate them, kill their men, rape their wives and their daughter, had lots of sex with all these females, and that's when they're going to believe. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. When Muhammad became so strong, and he started fighting the Jews and the Christians, and the Emperor of Persia, Allahu Akbar, they say, what other option do you have? Did Muhammad ever said why he's living in Mecca? I've been commanded by Allah to kill the last one of you until he says a shahada. Not once. He lived in the midst of the idol worshippers, the Jews and the Christian, and not once he made up this thing. But now he's strong. Now he has thousands of followers. He come up with, oh, Allah ordered me to kill the last one of you until he says a shahada. Now they're seeing the torment. Now they believe in the Quran. Allahu Akbar. I think we made the Quran so easy that anybody can understand what I'm saying. Do you, or are you not?
I still not.
Because you are infidel. Say the Shahada, close your eyes, repeat after me, and then the Quran will be so easy you understand it like nothing. Okay, next verse.
And if we open to them a door from the heaven, they will continue to ascend through it.
You know,
They-
I want to comment here. You know, has anybody imagined a door, you know, above you in the sky? I mean,
Yes, yes. Muhammad entered 7 doors, man. Every heaven have a door, and they knock at the door.
that's the same thing we find in Gnosticism. I mean, they actually have that belief in Gnosticism. Is Allah a Gnostic?
Sir, you ask a question. I'm trying to give you an answer, and then you mock my interpretation. Muhammad entered 7 doors. As a matter of fact, doors in the Quran is a miracle. Remember when Jacob sent his sons to Egypt? He said, "Do not enter from one door." Because
That's right.
people have wrong eyes. And they did that. When they enter Egypt, according to Quran chapter 12, the brothers of Joseph enter Egypt from different doors.
We were laughing about that when we covered that passage.
Even though there was never a door in Egypt. I challenge you, show me a door in Egypt.
In the middle of nowhere.
And then when Moses enters the promised land, he said, enter the door. What door, Allah? It's a big piece of land, lots of city, lots of mountains, lots of valleys, river. What door? So Muhammad left the door, man. What's wrong with you? You sound like an infidel, both of you. I thought there's only one Dr. Infidel and the other one is Paul, you know? Go ahead.
So I'm looking at this again. There's such a connection to Gnosticism here. I mean, that's the thing that bothers me the most. And it's such a warning sign to
Muhammad
anybody
copied
who would
every
push
source.
this interfaith stuff. This says, hey, hands off. This is
Brother,
this, yeah.
Muhammad copied from every source available. If it is satanic verses, if it is Bible, if it is Gnostics material, if it is a book written about Alexander the Great, made up story of the Egyptian, like night bed, you know, night bed, what do you call not night bed, bedtime story.
Yes.
Story you tell your children, like these young men who slept for 309 years, the people of the cave. It's a story made up in Egypt. We all know it's made up, but somehow Muhammad liked it. He made it real in the Quran, and so on and so on. I bet you there are many stories were taken out from the Quran and we never even heard of them.
Well, he corrected the story because the other people didn't add the dog. Very important. to add the
Oh
dog.
man, I forgot. So he gave us the true version, not the counterfeit, the one in Egypt.
Yeah,
That makes sense. That makes sense. I agree.
but he forgot to tell us how many were actually in the cave.
Well, Allah knows. Allah
That's
knows.
what it says. Only Allah knows.
It's amazing.
Very
Allah knows.
clear.
Look at this. Look at this. Allah knows they slept for 309. Make sure 309. Not you don't round numbers, Allah. It was 309 years by the day and the hour. Okay, but somehow Allah forgot to tell us how many they were.
Yeah.
So now, in simple
and
words,
if it-
if Allah opened the door in heaven, believe it or not, that's what Allah said, and that's what Allah meant.
and people fell out.
Yep. Mhm.
All right, 15. They would say, okay, let's go back because it's I hate these breaks in there. Okay, and if we opened them the door from heaven,
No,
they would-
no. Verse 15 we're on.
yeah, but
yeah,
it makes more sense
14,
when you continue.
14
Okay,
and
all right.
15. Yeah.
Yeah, and if we open to them a door from the heaven, they will continue to ascend through it. They would say, surely, It is only that our eyes are closed, yet we are a bewitched people.
It still
I
doesn't
have
make
no
any
clue what
sense
that
to
has to
me.
do with the door.
You see, you need to read the interpretation of Al-Tabari to Quran chapter 15 verse 14 so you can understand Quran chapter 15 verse 15.
I thought it was supposed to be clear.
Clear my foot. Here we go. As for his saying, and we have another blah blah blah. اختلف أهل التأويل. The scholars of interpretation disagree. Are you ready so far?
Yeah, not
In,
clear.
in the meaning of who are those he's talking about. المعنيين what whom Allah is talking about. Okay, listen to this. First of all, he said, those who said to you, O Muhammad, why you did not bring angels on us if you are of the truthful? And that's obviously Quran chapter 7, 15 verse 7. باب من السماء فظلت ملائكة and the angels will go up and down from that door of the heaven and he sees it by their own eyes. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. You know what? You people are skipping the Quran. You cannot understand the Quran this way. I don't like the way you talk about it. Look. Listen, go back to verse number 7. Verse number 7 will help us understand verse number 14, will help us understand verse number 15. But since verse 14 we have disagreement, most likely we're going to get lost in the end of this hour discussion. So what did the people say in verse 7? I was not with you. You see, start the study without me, and now you're going to complain about me. I'm not a good person.
Why do you not bring to us angels if you were among the truthful?
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, how great Allah is. You see? So Allah is answered that verse in verse 14. What did he say in verse 14?
Verse 14, and if we open the door to them, a door from heaven, they will continue to ascend through it.
Whom Allah is talking about? Who will continue ascending? The angels. The angels will come from the door, in and out, in and out, in and out. And the infidels, those who did not believe in Muhammad, those who asked Muhammad, show us angels, bring us angels. They will be seasoned by their eyes, the angels come in and out, but they still will not believe.
Hey, I got a question. If the door, okay, it says if we open them a door from the heaven, they will continue to ascend through it.
But the problem
So
is,
where were the angels? They're not in
that
heaven.
is what he's talking about. That is the first opinion. The angels will go in and out of it. Okay? Okay, let me give you another interpretation. Guys,
Right.
if
Where are
I'm
we? On
concentrating
16.
on, if I'm concentrating on the Arabic of the word of Allah and you laugh, you make me angry.
Hey, it's Allah's word
And
that's
I
making
want
us
to
laugh.
kill you, infidel.
It's not yours.
All right, let's see this. Let's see what he means. سلام لما فتحنا من السماء فظلت يرجون ففتحنا من السماء فظلت الملائكة ترجع فيه لقال أهل الشرك إنما أخذ أبصارنا. Okay, which means actually the people of the past will say that our eyes were taken away, and we imagined it, but it was not real. Or we were bewitched. You know, when you are bewitched and you see things you didn't actually see.
Oh,
So
kind of
we
like
we have
Muhammad
been-
imagining
so
having
we have an
sex with all his
illusion with
wives.
us.
You know what? This is crazy. I need to give you the next opinion because there's too much talk. I mean, that one verse could take an hour.
Wow. Well, let's go on then. Wow.
16.
No, wait. I'm reading.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Listen what Qatada said. Qatada said, لو فتحنا عليهم باب من السماء فظلوا فيه يرجون قال ابن عباس لو فتح الله عليهم من السماء بابا فظلت الملائكة تعرج فيه يقول اختلفوا فيه جائين وذاهبين. They اختلفوا فيه. They would disagree about that the angels will come in and go in and out of that door, the door in heaven.
You know, it's the. I think the point that I like what Kufar said was, if we look at the Arabic and it says they ascend, how do they get in and out? I mean, ascend applies going up. It doesn't apply going down.
Well, the word يعرجون, it could mean anything because it's a weird word. Most people do not know what it is. So I can say it's going up or coming down or going in and out. It's
Oh,
and all of them are accurate.
okay.
Okay. So don't make a big deal about that one word. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, don't make a big deal about the whole verse. As a matter of fact, forget about the whole chapter. Okay. No, go ahead. Read 16. No. Actually,
And
read
indeed,
15.
we have made in the heavens Borojan,
Brujan.
constellations,
Yeah.
non-Arabic word of Latin origins,
Oh, wow.
pure
Latin
Arabic.
We
in
got
a
Latin in the Quran, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead.
Okay, so indeed we have made it the heavens and the heavens constellations and beautified it to the beholders.
Yeah. You see? And it's when you do a study in the Quran about the stars in Islam, which is by the way another study we're going to be putting together in a very powerful PowerPoint. We did the miracle of the embryology. Remember, Paul? And
yes.
this is going to be the second miracle: the star and the sun and the moon and the stars. Somehow Muhammad have a wild imagination. He thinks these stars are created for three reasons, and we talked about it before. I don't know, not with you, maybe somewhere else. It is first of all beautifying the heavens. Number two is to guide the people in their traveling. Number three is they are actually missiles which Allah used which Allah causes the angels to use to stop the demons from going up to heaven to hear the talk from the earth and the heaven. Whenever Satan come closer to the heaven, one of the angels carry one of the stars and shoot, my eye. They will not be able to get to heaven to hear what Allah is saying and what the angels are saying. You see, three good reasons for the stars. So here we go. Allah made the heaven. That's one of the three reasons, to make it beauties, like decor. Have you ever seen a Christmas tree without light? Give me a break. I will not put a Christmas tree in my house without light. As a matter of fact, by the time my wife finished decorating the Christmas tree, it's a 2 weeks work and it looks beautiful. The heavens without the star, it will look naked, it will look ugly, like a Christmas tree without light. You got it?
I like the next verse.
Yeah.
Well, does that mean that so when he originally made the heavens, they weren't beautiful, so he had to kind of redo it, like
Oh,
remodel
that's
it?
an interesting point.
Well, what kind of name for the question is that? 5-101. 5-101. Stop it.
Hey, Paul, you'll laugh at the next verse.
Okay.
17. And we kept it from every stone Satan.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Reason number 2. Why Allah created the stars? To stop the stoned Satans from coming up to heaven to hear. Listen, the next one.
Now, what was Satan smoking that he was stoned?
No. not stoned, being drunk. You guys are so unbelievable.
Was it some good heavenly hashi?
May the curse of Allah be on you, the way you mock the word of Allah. The curse of Allah be on you. Listen, every Muslim who does a Hajj, he have to throw this small piece of stone on Satan. That's why he is called stoned, because Allah gives the believers the power to stone him with stone, not being drunk. Come on, man. Come
Now,
on,
how can a Muslim stone Satan when he's not a?
Because you see,
I'm asking too many questions.
Satan in Islam is an amazing thing. Do you know that every time when the Muslim call, do the Adhan, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Satan run for 30 some miles.
Yeah, 36 miles.
Yeah. And why he's running all these miles? Because he does not he actually fart.
That's why he can run so fast. He's got that excess gas to propel him.
Gas
at a
powered
faster
vehicle.
speed.
You know what,
He's
people?
turbocharged.
That's it. I'm not going to share with you any more truths about Satan because you're a bunch of evil, wicked people.
Satan had a turbocharge on his butt. All right, so he's not stoned. Okay, 18. Except those who eavesdrop, so they were followed by a visible flame.
Ooh, the star! One time Muhammad was laying down in the desert. It was a beautiful night. It was not hot, it was not cold, just the right temperature. while his companion laying on their back and looking at the sky. And behold, he sees a shooting star. And Muhammad said, "Did you see that? Oh, Apostle of Allah, we saw it. Do you know what is this? Oh, only Allah and His Messenger know." Oh, one of the Satan was trying to hear what was said. So Allah causes one of the angels to throw him with one of the stars. That's why he ran away when he could not hear a word. That's exactly what Allah is talking about here in verse 17. You understand now? You
Wow.
infidels? I'm trying to help you.
But were the eavesdroppers, were they successful? Because it says, to me, it looks like Allah's trying to protect the heavens or whatever, but it says except the one who steals. So it sounds like Allah wasn't very good at guarding what he was supposed
No,
to.
no. See, except here, the exception here, according to Muslim scholars. Muslim scholars disagree. What does Allah mean by the word except? So, if you know, by the way, one of the beauty about the interpretation of Muslim scholars, when you come to a good question like that, and say, well, let's go see what Muslim scholars says, and you read and you read and you read, halfway through, a good 15 minutes later, you forgot what you were reading about. Then you go back to the Quran and move on. So the idea here is they were trying to hear it, but they didn't hear it. You see, like I'll give you a good example. Allah cast Satan from heaven because he refused to worship Adam, who was living in heaven at the time. Okay. Then, now Adam and Eve are safe in the garden in heaven, and Satan is gone. He is gone, farted or not. I don't care. He's gone. But somehow later, the Quran said that Satan spoke to them and he led them astray by causing them to see their nakedness, whatever. So we asked the Muslim, how in the world Satan was able to talk to Adam and Eve when he is already cast out of the heaven? They said he did not actually go inside the heaven. He was standing outside the door which Dr. Kafir make fun of, and he was whispering to them. So Allah could not hear him, and other angels could not hear him. So he did not tempt them by eating from the fruit while he was inside, but he's already cast out. But he was whispering from outside the door. You understand that now?
Oh, that makes perfect sense now.
I hope you are not lost, because I'm trying to lead you to Islam.
I'm going to be lost on the next one.
Okay.
Okay. The earth is flat according to Muhammad. All right. And the earth, we spread it out and tossed on its stabilizers. Sounds like he's building a car. And we planted in it from every weighted thing. I have no clue what that is.
All right. I'm a scholar. I can help you. Listen to what Al-Tabri said. First of all, بسطناها, مددناها. He said بسطناها, flattened it. If somebody tell you the word بسطناها does not, the word مددناها mean flattened, you some of doctors lying, go to Al-Tabri and see what basata mean. Basatnaha, it means we made it flat. Now, as for what Allah cast on it, listen carefully. You see, this earth was actually set on the top of a well, and the well is known by the name Noon, big well, because the earth is on the back of the well. And he get agitated, get like when you smell something bad or something and you want to sneeze to, so the well go, and when he did that, the earth shook. So Allah throws a mountain on the top of the earth, you infidels. That's why the earth does not shake like it used to be shaking before. Okay? And then Allah put in it, everything have a weight. Let me read what Al-Tabri said. Mountain, strong mountain, and something he said before he will not say. I have to go back where Al-Tabri talk about that in previous verse. He didn't even, he said, وفيما مضى بشواهد المغنية عن أداء. What we have talked in the past, and we're in riches that we don't have to repeat it again. But I don't know what he said before. I maybe read it before 10 times, but I can't remember, because the word of Allah is so deep. It's like an ocean. You read and you read and you forget, because you're human. Okay. Now, they from everything موزون here. Seriously, just a minute, guys. Give me a minute. وأنبتنا فيها من كل شيء موزون يقول وأنبتنا في الأرض من كل شيء يقول عن كل شيء مقدر وبقدر وبحد معلوم. So Allah put everything on earth exactly the right amount and the right weight. Okay. ده أنبتنا فيه شيء موزون يقول معلوم. Everything Allah knows exactly. He put on the earth. Ibn Abbas said يقول معلوم, everyone knows. They all say the same thing. Because Allah measured exactly size and weight. He knows exactly. So if you see any trees, you see any something, any bugs, any animals, any creature, Allah put it on earth exactly with the right size, the right amount, the right shape, and that's it. The wisdom of Allah. Okay, I got it.
Hey, Allah would have made an awesome ramp agent
Brother,
because
Listen, there are another 10 pages. Do you want me to read 10 more pages? Do you want to finish the chapter?
No, let's not read the other 9.
Okay, listen, no, that's a good one. Min kulli shay mazun. From everything with weight. Okay, he meant gold, silver, brass. What is the metal which is so heavy? It's called
titanium.
No. Resource.
Copper?
Not copper. It's black one. It's like you use it to make weight. Anyway, so
Iron.
here we go.
Iron, yeah.
Al-Hussein said that exactly. That Al-Dhahak said that. He tell you gold and silver and brass and the other one. Well, how about the other metal which Muhammad and Hussein did not know of? Like titanium, for example. Oh,
Wow.
here is a good one. Everything you can weigh, everything you can put on everything on earth you can put on a weighing machine. Now they can weigh trucks, tons and tons of tons. Okay.
Well, I find this rather humorous, this concept of stabilizing, and it makes me wonder what exactly what creation myth he stole from here. But I mean, this concept of again, if it's flat, if the earth is flat and it needs stabilizers, it means Allah didn't create it correctly.
No. You see, abrogation in creation is reality, like abrogation in the word of Allah in the Quran. When Allah made it, He did not know that the whale would sneeze. Oh no, he saw it. Maybe he knows the whale will sneeze, but he did not think that he's not going to sneeze that much to shake it so badly. Or why you ask me these questions? Move on. Next verse. We have to finish the chapter today. We have 99 verses. We're in verse 18. Now we're 19, 20. Please move on fast, man.
All right. And we made subsistence in it for you and for those whom you do not give provision.
Ooh, yes.
That's deep. That's really
that
deep.
is like not common sense, not logical, not eye observation. That is a miracle. When you walk in the garden and you see the trees and you pick fruit and eat, or even the onions in the earth, or the garlic, or the vegetables, that's provision. And Allah gave it to people from the earth. Because guess what? All these trees grow up on earth, not on the moon, but on earth. So that's a miracle. And then people whom you don't provide for them, I'll provide for them. Allah is a great provider. MashaAllah. One of the names
Allah,
of Allah.
so Allah provides for whom He wills, and too
Yes,
bad for the others.
Al-Razzaq, Ya Basha, one of the names of Allah. He's the one who provides. And here's a verse to prove it. That must be a miracle.
He's a good provider. All right, 21. And here is nothing except that we have treasuries with us, and we did not send it down except with no measure.
Oh, so if you see some corn somewhere here on earth, this actually came from heaven. And Allah put the corn in the special khaza'in, a place to store the corn in heaven, and He brings it to earth with the exact amount as He wants. And so is anything else of any provision. I guarantee you, if I go read the interpretation here, they tell you gold and silver and corn and wheat and date, even camel urine too.
And we sent forth the winds as pollinators. So
That's
we
a miracle.
dropped water from the heaven.
Oh, that's another miracle.
So we gave you a drink, and you do not store it.
That's wrong.
Well, you know,
I
that sounds
store.
like somebody
I
who
know.
lives in the desert that needs to catch water, you know,
Yeah,
and it doesn't, you know, it doesn't.
that's
This is the thing that tells you that people are
exactly,
probably
Paul.
these are desert
Exactly.
people. But other than that,
First of all, who does not know about the wind takes the flower, what do you call this, from one plant to another plant? What do you call this? The
pollination.
the pollination. Yeah, everybody knows it. Before Muhammad, for hundreds of years, for thousands of years, people know it. And
Yes.
water come from heaven. Wow. From the day of Noah to the day of Adam, people know about the water coming from heaven. Trust me. That's not a miracle. Okay? And Allah gives them a drink from the rain. Well, what about the people who drink from wells, not from the rain? Not realizing that water in the well comes from the rain too. Somehow it goes through the earth. But can we store water? Have we been storing water lately? I store
No.
water in my own house.
It's a very good idea to store water because you never know.
Well, exactly. What if we lost electricity and we do not
I've
have
seen a
water?
lot of places where they store rainwater and then they test it and find out they have to dump it.
Sure. No. But there's scientists who store water for garden, for what do you call this, for fields and farmers.
Yes.
They make a storage underground, above ground, anything. Many of my neighbors collect the rain from the roof and store it in containers, and it's clean and nice and neat. They can boil it and drink it, or they can use it for the garden. That's
Yes.
what most people smart do. Why you pay water for the city when you can collect all your rain enough for all year long for your garden?
It's true.
Yeah,
But
but
Allah
now
did
they're
not know there will be plastic to make containers and metal containers, and you collect water under the ground and all this good stuff. But anyway, go ahead.
so we're in 23. 23. And surely we give life and we cause death, and we are the heirs. Okay.
Hey,
The verse,
sorry, I got a question about that. Oh, sorry, go
no, no,
ahead.
no. I was just saying, the verse speaks for itself.
Well, I don't know if you guys talked about this before or I listened to CP and he talked about it, but if Allah is the owner of everything, how do you inherit something?
Well, he's giving it away. وارثون الوارثون ونحن الوارثون. Yeah, it's a good question. الوارثون, that mean it could be understood the one who inherited everything from people. When people die, Allah will take it back. So he inherited their souls. You see, if you read into scholars have answer for every question, literally. وَنَحْنُ الْوَارِثُونَ, we will inherit your souls when you die. We'll take it back. So that's a good thing. You know what? Instead of I fabricate an answer for you, let me read to you what
Well,
Al-Tabari said.
I have another question on this verse. It has to do with the concept of we. And
Yeah,
surely we give life. I mean, is Allah a plural now?
No. That's a majesty language. Always in the Quran, Allah, we is majesty talk, like
But
kings.
if we have a royal we, that's where I look at this. Is royal we implies a human and God.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's what the royal we is about. And it seems like Allah doesn't understand
Well,
that.
there's so many points about that, Paul. First of all, nahnu is beautiful. وإنا, make it more. Nahnu وإنا is good in the poetry. But the problem I have was that we here, that Muslim materials, that's how Allah speaks, because majesty, the royal we. I said, so why Allah say I and me all over the
Yes.
Quran? Yeah. By the way, ونحن وارثون here in the Al-Tabari, he said, يقول ونحن نرث الأرض, we will inherit the earth, and ومن عليها, and everybody on it, بأن نميتهم جميعا, when we cause them all to die, فلا يبقى حي سوانا, and no one will be alive except us. Okay? Is جاء ذلك الأجل, when that time comes. So Allah in the end will inherit the entire earth and everything on it when he caused everybody to die. And we know that in reality, in Islam, in the end, that every angel will die. Even the angel of death will kill himself. And then Allah will be the only one who is living. And he will be
Allah sounds like he enjoys suicide as well.
and he will be the king of the dead, because they're all dead.
Oh, wait. King of the Dead. Don't we have another name for that guy? Doesn't it come out as Satan or Lucifer?
Exactly. But how can Allah praise Himself that He is the only living and He is the living and He is the King of all things when everything is dead?
Now, did you say that the angels will kill themselves?
No, angel of death, the last one, because
Oh,
he's
okay.
killing everything. Even, do you know what's amazing? The 8 angels who carry the throne of Allah, Allah will send the angel of death to kill them. So if they are carrying the throne of Allah and Allah will kill them, who will carry the throne of Allah when they're dead?
So what happens? Does the throne fall and Allah fall on his butt?
What?
If the
It's a
throne falls
magic-
down, will Allah just, when he goes to sit down, will he fall on his butt?
No, the whole throne will fall down. The problem is not Allah's butt. The problem is His chair. The throne of who will carry the throne of Allah when the angels of death, the angel of the throne, the 8 angels who carry the throne are all dead. That means the throne will be hanging in the air.
Wow.
It's a magic throne. It's like Aladdin's carpet.
Well, if Allah is mighty and He can sit on His throne without the angels, why in the world He abuse these 8 angels all these hundreds of thousands of years to carry His throne when He does not need this service? Or better than that, before Allah created the throne or the angels who carry the throne, where Allah was sitting at? Was He standing up?
Oh boy.
101.
All right, 24. And indeed we know who among you comes before, and indeed we know who will come later.
Do you need that verse really? Is this really important verse? Who will come earlier, who will come late?
I mean, I think I just learned so much.
And you have to
I'm
put
getting-
indeed
I'm-
in it?
I'm getting close to the Shahada.
Amen.
I might beat you, Paul. I might beat you.
Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
All right,
I feel
25.
like my brain's hurting reading this. It's getting destroyed. Oh my gosh.
You guys are
And surely your Lord, He will gather them. Surely He is wise, knowing.
Notice here in verse 24 is speaking in the first person. In verse 25 is speaking in the third person. In verse 26, you don't know who's talking. What is that with Allah? Why can't Allah use one system and move on? And indeed, I know, or indeed, I will gather them, or I will squeeze them, whatever. By the way, the word yahshurhum, we translated it different now in my translation. What? How you yahshurhum? No squeeze.
So we have
no
a second person plural. We have, oh my gosh, Sir, surely your Lord, He will, yeah, third person. And then we go back to a second person plural. This is crazy.
Welcome to the beauty of the poetry of the Quran.
I think the poetry is destructive to the Quran.
So, who is in verse 25 speaking here? Did somebody talk to Muhammad or his Lord himself?
I can't
Well,
answer.
a normal person would say that that's not Allah speaking, but that's a normal person.
Let me tell you what Al-Tabri said. I'm going to click on it right now. يعني ذلك جل شأنه أن ربك يا محمد يعني بذلك جل ثناؤه. Allah is the one who speaks here, my friends. You're wrong, kafir. That's why you're kafir. You're wrong. But wait a minute, in case of different opinion. You never know. Maybe some other scholar will give you a different opinion. Just hold your thoughts. Maybe you're not that wrong after all. No. Yeah, it is Allah speaking here. Yes, sir. Ibn Jarir, Sana ibn Yazid, Ali Abd Hassin Abd Sattar. Because, yeah, it is Allah.
So we had to go to an outside source to figure out who's talking.
Well, sometimes they disagree. So I can insult you, but at the same time, I'm going to give you a window to give you dignity back. But I'm sorry. You're wrong.
And when we go to 26, I this just makes me laugh every time I get here. Go ahead. Can we just read that? I think
Yeah.
that is
And indeed, we created a human from dry mud, from black molded mud.
Ooh, yes.
And we created the jinn before from the blazing fire.
Ooh, yes. You know what's amazing? Uh, Muhammad made up so much stuff. The one which I really give him credit for, he's the only one come up with is a jinn. And how can the jinn was created from fire when we saw Aladdin is just smoke, no fire? You know, Aladdin, Alibaba, and the 40 thief, Aladdin, the lamp, and he rubbed it, and then this thing come as the genie come, Shabak, Labak, 10,000 years. He's fucking does inside this lab for 10,000 years. But anyway, that guy is a jinn. I never see him fire. He just smoke. Have you ever seen a genie fire?
That's the Mexican jinns.
Yeah. By the way, in the Quran or in Islam in general, way I don't know where in the Quran, but in Islam, that interpretation of the Quran or Muhammad saying in the Hadith, the jinn were creating 2,000 years before Adam. And the jinn is not human and it's not angels, so it's somewhere in the middle. Even though Allah clearly said that He created everything in heaven and earth and everything in 6 days or 8 days or 9 days, or in the Hadith 7 days. Okay, so these are the three numbers or four numbers: 6, 6, 8, 9, 7. Yeah, four numbers. So how can Allah create the jinn 2,000 years before Adam if He create everything before and after the jinn, everything in 6 days or 8 days or 9 days or 15 days or a month? Okay, how can you put 2,000 years in a month?
You have to wonder. Well, Allah doesn't know math. That much we know.
Okay, I'm just trying to be nice here, trying to give you a thought. All right, we move on. That's good. It's good.
Allah commanded the angels to worship Adam. The fall of the devil is told here once again. And it looks like 26 is repeated with some little extra narration here. And when your Lord said to the angels, surely I am creating a human from dry mud, from black molded mud.
See, when you repeat the information, it's the same. That means it's true, sister, brother Paul. Why are you mocking the word of Allah? Here it's
well, we were told that if you repeat a lie over and over again, people might believe it. But that's not what they're teaching Democrats. So
because you have this unhealthy mind, you come up with this stuff. But in reality, that's how Adam was made of. Okay. No, we have 6 verses in the Quran about what Adam was created of, and believe it or not, every time is different. You know that. So I can give them to you right now. You have your Quran ready?
Yeah, I've got it.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. You need some help, man. I'm gonna share with you where Adam was made of in the Quran. Stage number 1. Do me a favor. Go to Quran chapter 23, verse 12.
23:12. And indeed, we created the human from an extract of clay.
Okay, see, that's different. That's different. Okay, how about this one? Let's go on to chapter 55, verse 14.
Okay, 55:14.
Yeah.
He created the human from clay like
Fukhar. Fukhar is the word potter. Potter's clay. It's an Arabic word of Syriac origin. So that's a different materials. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go to Quran chapter 15:28. That's one we just read. How about Quran chapter 32, verse 7?
32, verse 7. All right. And we're almost there. 32:7. And when we took from the prophets.
No. 32:7.
Oh, I'm on 33. Sorry.
Man,
32:7.
do not misread the word of Allah. The curse of Allah will strike you. Look at my hair. I lost all my hair, man, because I made a mistake.
Okay, where who best created everything? And he began the creation of the human from clay.
Oh, just clay. Or mud. This word is mud, actually.
Well, he's at least seems to be consistent with
No,
the word
no, it's
clay.
not. Every time the word in Arabic is different, okay?
Oh,
When English, sometimes you have to put another word, same word. Okay, how about 37:11?
37:11. 37:11. So ask them, are they strong creatures, or who created us? Surely we created them from sticky clay.
See, it's different words.
So
I mean, all have the
we've
word
had
clay.
dry
or mud.
clay, we've had sticky clay, we've had molded clay,
Black.
black molded clay.
You know what? I think you just have to just close your eyes and believe it, and you will be fine. Go ahead, next verse.
You tell. Okay, yeah, going on.
You got to read I think it's in Al Tabri or whatever, where Satan I'm sorry, not Satan. Adam ferments for 40 days.
That's how Allah made it. I was gonna tell you the story. Wait, you ruined my story, man.
Allah gave me that foreknowledge that you were going to say it, so I beat you to it.
Oh, mashallah, mashallah,
Mashallah.
Allah, yeah.
All right. So when the Lord said to the angels, surely I'm creating a human from dry mud, from black molded mud. So when I have fashioned him,
Passionate.
and breathed into him from my spirit, so fall down, worshiping him.
Now, first of all, Muslim will tell you the word worshiping is wrong. It's actually prostrate before him. But they did not know that this word is not even an Arabic word. Okay? It's a Hebrew word which means literally worship. Sajidin. Yasjud means worship. Anyway, so when Allah breathes into him from spirit, Allah have a spirit?
Apparently he does.
Remember now, go to Quran chapter 5, Paul. Quran chapter 5, verse 116.
116.
Yeah.
Okay, 116. And when Allah said, O Isa, son of Mary, did you say to the people, take me and my mother as two gods other than Allah? He said,
next, yeah.
He said, praise be to you. It is not for me that I say what is not true for me. If I had said it, so indeed you know it. You would know that what is in my soul, and I do not know what is in your soul. Surely you are the knower of the
so
unseen.
Allah have a soul. Allah have nafs and Allah have ruh. Allah have a soul and Allah have a spirit. But guess what? Muslim scholar fabricators, they will tell you the spirit of Allah is Angel Jibreel. Wait a minute. Did Allah blow Angel Jibreel in Adam? Here we go, Adam. Give me your nose, man. Now Adam and Jibreel inside Adam? No, the command of Allah is He's speaking to all the angels except Jibreel. No, He spoke to all the angels. And He told them what? I'm going to create a man. And when I put my spirit, not Jibreel, my spirit into Adam, all of you fall down and worship him. And notice what happened in verse 30. Go ahead, brother.
So all the angels worshipped him except the devil.
Oh, wait a minute. All the angels worshipped him except Jibreel and the devil, since Jibreel was already inside Adam? Or can Jibreel worship Adam and be inside him at the same time?
Well, he's omnipresent.
No, he can't, because only Allah omnipresent. Jibreel is not.
Well,
see the problem here? No.
Jibreel is omnipresent because he sleeps in all the Muslim noses. So that takes omnipresence. Of course, that's in a hadith.
And I don't believe in hadith. I'm a Quran only. Okay, I'm Quran only. And if you give me questions, the Quran, don't forget, I got the best answer. 5-101. All right. So what happened here? All the angels worshipped except Satan. He was not of those who worship. Excuse me. Why do you mention Satan? Was Satan a jinn or an angel? Because surely the Quran said, surely Satan is of the jinn. If Satan of the jinn, why in the world Allah is complaining about him? Did Allah say to all the creatures, the human and the jinns and the angels, to worship Adam? No. When Allah spoke to, read for me 28 again, man. Read verse 28 again. Please help me out here.
28.
28.
Okay, 28. And when your Lord said to the angels,
Who Allah spoke to?
to the angels?
Did he spoke to the jinn?
No.
So why Allah make confuse my life? And in verse 31, tell me that all the angels, 30, 31, all the angels worship except Satan. What Satan have to do with the angels?
Well, according to the Quran only Muslims that I've talked to on Clubhouse, they said he was an angel that Allah then turned into a jinn when he refused.
Excuse me, sir. Satan was a jinn. Allah does not create things to change it to something else. We're talking at the beginning of life. Here we go. Allah creates the angels, Allah creates the human, jinn, and now Allah is about to create Adam. And he's telling them, I'm speaking to the angels, not to the jinn. I want you angels to worship. That's where you see Muhammad scholars would confuse and say, some believe Satan was an angel, some believe Satan is a jinn. Is he a jinn or an angel? That fabrication from the club you listen to is not in the interpretation of the scholars.
Well, and he does say in the Quran later on, maybe in this chapter, where the reason why he didn't prostrate, which is probably coming up next, except the devil, he refused to be with the worshipers. He said, "Oh devil." Now, I was thinking that he said was Satan speaking. He said, "Oh devil, why were you not with the worshipers?" He said, "I was not to worship a human you created from dry mud, from black molded mud." He said, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, here's the deal. Let me get. You know what you said makes lots of sense. I'm about to say the Shahada, but let me read this for us first, okay? Ibn Kathir said, Allah said, that is from Ibn Jarir, from Ibn Abbas, the first cousin of Muhammad, okay? When Allah created the angels, He said, surely I'm going to create a human from clay or mud. So when I fashion him and I breathe my spirit in him, so you bow down and worship him. So they say, we will not do that. The angels told Allah, will not do that. So Allah sent on them fire, so he burns them. Then he created other angels. So he said to them the same what he said. So they said, we have heard and we obeyed. But Iblis, who was of the infidels, the first infidels, إلا إبليس كان من الكافرين الأولين. So Satan was an angel from the previous angels, refused to worship. So if Allah burns him, why Satan was not burned if he was an angel to start with?
How can you burn something made out of fire? Or are these not made out of fire?
But see, the Ibn Kathir does not know. You know better than Ibn Kathir. Let me.
Well, the angels, Paul, were made out of light. So how do you burn light?
And light is supposed to be, again, we're talking about fire.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
Al-Jalalain. Except Iblis, who is the father of the jinn, and he was between the angels, he was among the angels, and he refused to worship. So he was a jinn among the angels, like all the angels, and somehow Satan was there, and he's the father. You know that Satan is not only the father by the way of the jinn. I'm sorry about I said angels. Satan is not only the father of the jinn, he's also the mother of the jinn. You know why?
Because he's got the male and
androgynous
parts between his thighs.
Ooh, sweetheart. You got it, buddy. He make love by his right side, where is the penis, with his left side, with the vagina, and he make love to himself twice every day, laying 7 eggs. I can't remember how many eggs. Whatever number of eggs, and every eggs have hundreds of jinn. So every time Satan make love to himself, right side, left side. He make eggs, and these eggs have hundreds of jinns. That's why he's the father and the mother of all the jinn. MashaAllah. That is a Jalalain. I'm telling you, you read in the same verse, different interpretation, and you go and search. Let's see Al-Qurtubi. Oh man, Al-Qurtubi have a long time. لا شك أن إبليس كان مأمورا بالسجود لقوله ما منعك ألا تسجد إذ أمرتك. He said, there's no doubt that Satan was ordered by Allah to worship, because the verse said, why do you not worship when I order you? So if Allah ordered him, that he was ordered to worship. That is Quran chapter 7 verse 12. Go to Quran 7:12.
Quran 7:12.
Yes, sir.
All right. 7. And this happens to be one of those, okay, the bigger chapters. All right. He said, what has hindered you that you did not worship when I commanded you?
See, Allah ordered him. That means he was an angel. Okay, he was ordered to worship. But okay, and of course he refused because he was prideful in that verse. Then it was said, he was of the angels. ثم قيل كان من الملائكة فهو استثناء. I'm sorry. The first one is not an angel. The first one, obviously, he was a jinn. But the second one here, which is said that he was of the angels, وقال قوم لم يكن من الملائكة. And other people said, no, he was not of the angels. So Muslim scholars have disagreement. Some say he was an angel, some said he's not. فهو استثناء منقطع وقد مضى في البقرة هذا كله مستوى فيه. وقال ابن عباس, he said, now look at Qurtubi said, I talked about that in depth, in detail in the book of Cow, which is Quran chapter 2. Now, do you want to go back to Quran chapter 2 to search for that verse? Good luck.
Well, my thing is here is that no matter how many times you look at these verses that have to do with worshiping a human, that's supposed to be the highest crime, shirk.
Sure. Well, that's it's coming up in another verse, by the way. You're right, Paul. That Satan, when Satan refused to worship, he was doing the right thing. But Allah not tempted him. Allah seduced him. The reason Satan refused to worship, because he knows the right thing is to worship Allah alone. But Allah tricked him, Allah seduced him, and Allah tricked him is the right word. And that's why when he did the right thing, he was punished for it. That's why his word by Allah is that he will also seduce all those who will come from Adam, except obviously the believing one. Listen to this. Al-Qurtubi also said, Ibn Abbas said, Al-Jan Jinn Abul Jinn. He is the jinn of all the jinn. وَلَيْسُ الشَّيَاطِينَ, and they are not Satans. Our shaitan walad iblis, and Satan's burst Iblis. لا يموتون إلا مع إبليس, and they will not die except with Iblis. والجن يموتون, jinn dies, but Satans do not die. And the jinn have who is believer and who is infidel. فآدم أبو الإنس, Adam is the father of all the human, and Al-Jan is a father of jinn, and Iblis is the father of Satans. Do you understand anything? So we have three different people. We have, of course, we have angels, and we have human, which Adam was the father, and we have Al-Jan. Al-Jan is the father of all the jinn, and Shaitan, which is Satan, is the father of all the shayateen, which is plural of shaitan, which is Satan's plural, is the children of Iblis. So Iblis is the father of the Satans, and the Jan is the father of jinn, and Adam is the father of the human. And of course, we have angels, and we do not know who is the father of the angels. Who is the father of the angels? 5-101. Go ahead.
Who's the mother of angels?
Brother, this is a long writing here about Al-Qurtubi. We can
Okay,
go
so 34. So this is Shaitan, Iblis, the devil responding. No, actually, this is Allah responding after Shaitan said, I was not to worship a human you created from dry mud, from black molded mud. He said, so get out from it. So surely you are stoned.
Okay,
Hey,
that's where
he
the
had
stone
some
is.
good pot, is what it sounds
I
like.
know.
Okay.
That doesn't sound like somebody throwing stones. That sounds like he's high.
I mean, if Satan of the jinn, how can he be the father of Satan's? Okay, go to Quran chapter 18, verse 50. Quran chapter 18,
18.
Al-Kahf, verse 50. Yeah, read the verse for me. What did
Okay,
Allah say there?
18:4 we have. And to warn those who said, Allah has taken a son.
No. Al-Kahf, chapter 18, brother.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
What do you mean that? Yeah, I'm sorry. Whoa. Al-Kahf, chapter 18, not 15, 18, 1 8.
18:4.
50, 50.
Oh, 50. Okay.
50.
Okay. 50 verse 4. Indeed, we know what the earth diminishes of them, and with us is a guarded book.
Man, you're not reading it right. Are you chapter 18, verse 50?
Okay, 1850. Okay, that's not what I understood. Just a second now. All right.
You're killing me, Paul.
All
I
right.
need to
50.
get that verse before I die of old age. I'm getting older here.
All right, verse 50. And when we said to the angels, worship Adam, so they worshipped except the devil. He was from the jinn, so he transgressed from the command of his Lord.
So
Will
he
you?
was of the jinn. Satan was of the jinn. So for sure, he's not an angel. And if he's not an angel, and we read in verse 28 here that Allah said to the angels, I am about to create a human. When I finish creating him and I breathe my spirit in him, worship him. He's not talking to the jinn. Maybe Allah got Alzheimer's disease and he forgot what he said in verse 28. That's why he was upset at the jinn. You know what? I think jinn was stupid too. Satan was stupid. Why? If he's smart, he's going to say, excuse me, Allah, excuse me, time out.
Sounds like Allah. It sounds like Allah isn't as intelligent as his evil
No, he's
opponent.
not. He's not. But Satan is stupid too. If he's smart, he's going to say, excuse me, God, excuse me, Allah. Yeah. Small g, God. Yeah. Did you ask me to worship him? No. Why you want me to, why do you want me to do something I was never asked to do? I am a jinn. You order the angels, stupid Allah, and then you go from there and you win the case.
Oh, there we go.
See, I can be a good lawyer for Satan. And by the way, when you read the story of the worship of Adam, I put it wonderfully in Quran in chapter 2 in my book Exposing the Truth About the Quran, the revelation of error, the creation of Adam, and I put them side by side the reasons why Satan did not worship Adam. And you see different answer all the time. It's the same question. Oh, Satan, why you are not of the worshiper? Same question. And the answer of Satan every time is different. Okay. What did we read in the verse you have right now, or you have in your hand, Quran 1850? What the answer is there?
1850. Okay. Worship Adam, and he was from the jinn, so he transgressed. Will you then take him and his offering as friends rather than me? This is an evil exchange. I have not. Okay, I don't see him giving an answer here.
No, it is.
Will you take? And when we said to the angels, worship Adam, so they worshipped except the devil. He was from the jinn, so he transgressed from the command of his Lord.
Yeah.
Will you then take him and his offspring as friends rather than me? And they are an enemy to you. This is an evil exchange for the unjust.
Okay, so it never says there why he refused to worship. Okay, let's look. Can anybody look for why you did not worship him? Let me give it to you. I will go here, and I will go here, and I'll go here, and we'll search it here. من الساجدين Okay. 7:11. Go to Quran chapter 7, verse 11, and read if he asked him why you did not worship.
Quran 7:11.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Uh,
Sounds like a good place to go get a Slurpee. 7-Eleven.
7:11. And indeed we created you, then we fashioned you. Then we said to the angels, worship Adam. So they worshipped except the devil. He was none of those who worship. He said, this is verse 12, what has hindered you that you did not worship when I commanded you? And he said, I am better than him. You have created me from fire. You have created him from clay.
Okay. What is the answer right now we have in Quran chapter 15? How did he answer that question?
I was not created to worship a human.
No, it's listen, read the whole answer.
I was not created to worship a human. You created from dry mud, from black molded mud.
Wait a minute. Why the words of Satan is different for the same question?
Allah can't remember.
Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah.
Okay, so Allah casts him out of it, and he will be stoned, and on you is a curse until the day of judgment. Now listen to the conversation between Allah and Satan, exactly as I mentioned earlier. Go ahead.
Are we back to
36, Quran 15:36.
I think we're on 35.
Oh, start from 34, yeah. 34, so he gets the story right. Back and forth.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He said, so this is Allah speaking. So get out from it. We don't know what this it is. So surely,
It is the heaven, man.
Yeah,
Adam
but-
and angels and Satan's.
why
Everybody
couldn't Allah
up
just
there.
say, so get out of heaven? I'm kicking you out, bro.
Yeah.
Where's that door? Do you know that door that's in
Don't
heaven?
forget the door.
Yeah, don't forget the
New
yeah, don't let the
locker
door
with new keys. Okay,
don't
go
let
ahead.
the door hit you on the way out. So
Yeah.
get out from it. So surely you are stoned.
Yeah.
And surely the curse will be on you until the judgment day.
Sure. 36.
He said, my Lord, so delay me until a day they will be raised.
Who will be raised?
The people. The day of judgment. So don't punish me now. Don't send me to hell now. Let me be free until the day of judgment when the people will be raised. Remember, all the people are going to die. Even the angels will die. The carrier of the throne of Allah will die, and the angel of death will die. So after that, there is a day of judgment. There's a day, the day of Ba'as, which is the day of resurrection, where every person will come back to life. Even the birds will come back to life. Even the animals will come back to life, because all the creatures are like human, and some of them are Christians, and some of them are Jew, who are, by the way, infidels, and some of them are good Muslims. That is the day where everybody come back to life, which is the day of judgment. Go ahead.
He says, so surely you are of the delayed.
Which means Allah granted Satan his wishes. He's not going to send him to hell right now. He's free until the day of judgment. Go ahead.
Okay, he says, so surely you are of the delayed until the day of the appointed time.
Yep.
He said, my Lord, because you seduced me,
Ooh, sweet Jesus. Go ahead.
I will surely adorn to them on earth. And I will
Well, is he going to make
surely,
himself look pretty?
yeah, put on some red lipstick and some pumps. And I will surely seduce all of them, except your sincere servants
By the way,
among them.
another verse in the Quran, he did not say the exception here. He said, I will seduce all of them. Let me give you the verse.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Will I lie to you? You're my special friend. Seriously, no, for real. Let me go here. Let me go up there. And let me see. Where is Allah? Is Satan. Allah is Satan. And Jesus Christ is God. Allah is Satan. Jesus is God. I have the wrong computer, by the way, but I will find it. I promise you, Lord is willing. Allah is Satan. What happened to that presentation? Allah is Satan. Jesus is God.
Children of.
Hey, here it is. I found it. Praise God from whom all blessed flow. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. الغاوي الفتنة الغاوي. Okay. Do me a favor, go to Quran chapter 38.
All right.
And verse 82. No, that's not it. No. I will surely
So I swear by your honor, surely I will seduce all of them. Except you're faithful. Yeah, that's that one.
That's that one here, same one. There's another one, I cannot read that now. I will surely adorn to them. Well, I cannot not in this. To take me a little bit time to find it. Never mind. Consider it something to look at in the future. What time is it now?
Well, we talked about this on your. I think it was on your show last week. Yeah.
I know, but I don't know what. Do you remember what verse it was?
I couldn't tell you.
What is wrong with you? Wait, you're not listening to me. Man. Anyway, I thought that was it, but it's not it. It's the wrong verse. All right, move on. I apologize. We have to find it some other time.
Okay, except your sincere servant among them. He said, "This is a way on me straight. Surely my servants, you have no authority over them except those who follow you from the seduced."
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait, the seduced have authority over the followers of Allah.
And you know who's seducing them?
And that's Satan.
No, Allah will seduce some of his own servants to be followers of Satan.
So this is confusing. So so seduced followers of Satan.
The problem is, who's speaking first of all in verse 41? Do you know who's speaking in verse 41?
He said would imply
Satan.
Allah, right?
Who is speaking in verse 41?
I would think it's Satan. Satan was speaking in
Oh yeah, he was
39.
verse. Yeah, you're right. He was speaking in 40, so this is 41. Yeah, this is Satan.
Well, you rush to make up a decision. We have to read Muslim scholars, man. اختلف العلماء. See, they disagree too.
Oh wow.
هذا صراط علي مستقيم. علي هي إلى وبمنزلتها. يقول المستقيم وقرأ ذلك. So there's a different reading for the verse. It's written different from one Quran to another Quran. God help us. You know what, guys? We can do that study verse by verse real good if we spend a week in every verse.
Let me see. So a week in every verse. So that's only 52 verses. Man, that'll take forever. I don't think I got that many years left.
How old are you, man? Remember, maybe Allah will give you long years to live.
Well, don't let my good sounding voice fool you.
You know, I think that'd be. I think that would be a horrible punishment.
First
like
of all,
eternal punishment.
Ajalan say, Qala ta'ala, who is exalted said. So obviously that verse was said by Allah. That's all what he said about it. He didn't say anything else. Al-Qurtubi said, now Al-Qurtubi is not bad. Al-Tabari was so long. قال عمر بن الخطاب معناه هذا صراط يستقيم بصاحبه حتى يهجم به على الجنة. Al-Qurtubi said, Umar ibn Khattab said, that means this is a straight way for the one who live in it until he jump يهجم به from it to the garden. He used that road to jump to the garden. مجاهد والكسائي الوعيد والتهديد. This is a promise and threats. And that is going to be your way, and those, and that's you'll be eternity.
So that they have Allah speaking here then.
Yeah, there's Allah speaking. فأجاز, listen with this, another opinion. هذا طريق مرجعه إلي فأجازي كل بعمله. This is a way to me. This is a road. People live in. Come to me, will direct it to me, and I will punish or reward each one according to his work. Meaning the way of slavery. And then another opinion, this is a route or proof that this is a road of the straight way with proof and evidence. And it will be for guidance and success. I mean, guys, I'm reading the opposite opinion. I mean, literally, how can you tell me this is a scholarly interpretation? What is the word natfa? Let me remind you of natfa. It's a lots of water equal to the size of the ocean, or a little bit water.
Boy.
That's what I decided to do in my life. I don't want to go anymore to the interpretation of stupid scholars, because for me to read this interpretation, it makes me stupid. I am smarter than that stupidity.
Wow.
That's another one. طريق علي مستقيم بالرفع علي وتنوينه ومعناه رفيع مستقيم. It's a highway. It's a beautiful way. It is the way of the religion and the truth. It is something excited to get to. So I don't know. It's a road, everybody can go on it until Allah judge every person according to his work, or it's a road to lead people to hell, or it's a road to lead people to heaven. Which one do you want? You choose which one you like and go for it, okay? Next verse.
Hey, I just wanted to say real quick,
Go.
I looked on Legacy Quran on 1541 in Sahih International. Muhsin Khan and Yusuf Ali all have Allah in parentheses. So there have him saying Allah was speaking that.
Well, normally in the Quran, there's a doctrine there. When somebody speak, and then you have the word said, qala, he said, that means it is the opposite person from that which was speaking before. So obviously the conversation is between Satan and Allah. And Allah said, if you go back, look for the word qala before that. Let's look at the qala. I'll tell you how the conversation go. Wait. Okay. Allah obviously speak in verse 28. Allah speaks to the angels. And he continued to speak. And then he tells himself that Iblis refused to worship. He spoke to Satan here and said, "Oh Satan," in verse 32, "why you did not worship?" Qala, the next one, that's Satan speak back to Allah. Qala, verse 34, is Allah speak to Satan. And then he said, on you is a curse until the day of judgment. Qala, verse 36, is Satan speak to Allah. The verse 37, Qala, Allah speak to Satan. Now, the next Qala is Satan, verse 39. Continuous 40, Satan speaking. Qala, 41, it's Allah. Because if the Quran will not say said, he said, and he said about the same person who's still speaking. You got my point?
Yeah.
General talk. So from the general talk of the Quran, we know for sure every time a new person is speaking, it will start Qala, he said.
Wow.
So we know for sure it's Satan. But listen now, verse 43 is so powerful. It's a miracle, Brother Paul. Go ahead, bro.
And surely hell is the promise for them all.
All those who follow Satan are going to go to hell. But do you know that Muhammad said that everybody is going to go to hell? Even you, apostle of Allah, he said, even me, unless Allah cover me with his mercy. وَمَا مِنْكُمْ إِلَّا وَرِدْهَا. Not one of you, but he will enter it. It here is hell. So if the promise of Satan and all those who follow him to go to hell, why the itch in the world, and I don't know these words, Allah said that Muhammad is telling us, according to the Quran itself, that even the Muslim will go. I thought it's a promise for Satan and his followers, not for the good Muslim believers. Now, verse 44.
It has, okay, it has 7 doors.
Doors. See, there are doors in Egypt. There's doors in the promised land, which Allah calls the Quran Holy Land. There's doors in heaven, and there's doors in hell. And how many doors are there?
7 doors. To every door, a portion of them is assigned. Now, does that mean that heaven has maybe seven different layers? Or do the 7
No,
doors go to the same place? Because what's the purpose of having 7 doors if they all lead to the same place?
that's
No,
good
this
question.
reminds me of what was that? What's that play that's written now? Oh my gosh, the 7 circles of hell. Is that what it is, or the 11 circles of hell? Been a long
That's
time.
a drama plays they're doing in theater or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
You talking about a play, a movie?
No, it's an old classic book. Where someone goes into hell and to get a loved one back. I can't think of the name of the book. It's so yeah, I'll think of it. 7 Circles of Dante. Dante by Dante. Thank you.
Yeah.
Darcy. Thank you.
لها 7 أبواب لكل باب منهم جزء معلوم مقسوم. 7 gates in hell. By the way, I love what Allah said about hell too, because when they went to hell, somehow Muhammad forget, and he talked about the future in the present tense. So they said, "Oh Allah," I'm not kidding you. "Oh Allah, those are the one who led us astray." Some of the people in hell were led astray by other people in hell. So they complained to Allah, "Allah, those down there, them people there, are the one who misled us and brought us to hell. Punish them with a double punishment, double hell." I don't know what double hell is, but I think if you are burning in fire, it doesn't make any difference how hot the fire is. But anyway, so Allah said to them, "It is for all of you. You and them are going to get double hell, double fire." So I do not see in hell but one hell. I mean, I do not know where seven hells. It's one hell. Let me see what is said here in the scholars. Okay, I apologize. Here Ibn Kathir, you talk too much. لكبر من جزء مقسومة أي قد كتب لكل باب منها جزء من أتباع إبليس يدخلونه لا محيط لهم. Every one of these doors, specific group of demons, of Satan's followers will go. The people will go from different doors. لا محيط لهم عنا أجارنا الله منه. He seek Allah not to get there. وكل يدخل من باب بحسب عمله واستقر في درك بقدر. Everyone will go to these gates according to his work, and he stays there in a whatever time Allah want him to be there. That's one interpretation. عن إسرائيل عن أبي هريرة عن إسحاق عن ابن مريم عن أبي مريم عن طلحة 7 بعضها فوق. Oh, here we go. The gates of hell are 7, some above the others. There are 7 heavens on top of each other. So when the first hell is filled, then they go to the second hell, then the third hell, until all of it is full. Akrama said 7 gates, 7 stories, like 7-story building. Ibn Jarir said 7 gates. The first one is Jahannam, then another one is called Lazi, then another one called Al-Hatma, then Al-Sa'ir, then Saqra. Okay, 7 heavens, man. 7 hells. 7 heavens, 7 hells. MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
I mean, it would make sense.
Listen to this. That is even better. Look at this. Listen to this. Ooh, okay. Allah will send people according to their work. Now, Ibn Jarir said that Jubair said that the Hawk said 7 heavens, to every heaven is a special known part. 1 door for the Jews, 1 door for the Nasara, the Christian, 1 door for the Sabians, the idol worship Sabians, and 1 door for the Majus, and 1 door for those who are polytheists, and 1 for the infidels of the Arab, and 1 door for the hypocrites, and 1 door for the people who believe in one God.
Whoa.
and there is hope for
Wait,
the
wait, go
Muslims
back, go back. Read that again. One door for the people who what?
who worship one God.
So he's condemned all of Islam.
Not the Muslims, yeah. But he said this, listen to this, listen to this. The people of Tawheed, the people who believe in one God, yurja lahum, there is hope for them. Wala yurja. And there's hope. La ulaki abadan. And all the other six. The six other doors, no hope. Hell forever. Forever. They will never get out of it. But the Muslims, there's hope for them. So they're going to go to the one heaven.
But they still have to go to hell.
With one door, and then they're going to get out somehow.
Sounds like
that makes sense.
This place called Purgatory.
Because now that makes the problem I have with the contradiction that Allah said that hell is for the angels for the people who follow Satan, and at the same time we know from the Quran that the Muslim will go to hell. So that's separate hell. Maybe that hell will run out of fire, run out of wood. The fuel of hell is the people body. So when they run out of wood, it cool off, and then they can walk out of it. MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Hey, maybe Allah gets his gas for the fire from Russia. And Putin's not very happy with him, and he cut off his supply.
So he needed to put more Muslims in.
Yeah.
You know what? You guys are very disrespectful for the word of Allah. You're disrespectful for the wisdom of Muhammad and the Quran. Therefore, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. This is the last time you see it. Bunch of infidels. Anyway, there's not enough time to get to paradise. Do you want to go to paradise or stop here?
We've only got like
we got only a few more verses. So
all right, so yeah, we'll
finish at 50.
Go ahead, make my day.
All right, 45.
I need to eat breakfast, man. It's
Surely.
dark out here right now. It's time for iftar. MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
There you go. Surely the Fira in gardens and in springs.
Okay.
It seems like it's incomplete. That's the best I can say for that.
Because even if you read, let's say 44, it has 7 doors, and to every door a portion of them is assigned.
That's hell, man. Don't mix hell with heaven, the garden.
Surely the Fira in gardens and in springs.
Allah, see what happened? There was a couple words that were missing here. Okay?
The goat ate them.
Exactly. Do you think when Zayd ibn Sabit was collecting the Quran, and people go to him and 2 people agree about the verse, he will argue with them? Whatever they said, that's what Allah said. And if people missed a couple words, so what? Big deal, a couple words.
Well, wouldn't the Arabic solve that problem?
No, in Arabic, when you read my translation of the Quran, the one we're reading right now, that is exactly word for word of the Arabic.
Right. No, I was just making a joke. I just find it funny that obviously this is missing key information.
This is bad translation. The Arabic is very clear like mud. Okay, that's what we're reading right now. Arabic, English, the same. Inna al-muttaqin fi jannatin wa ayun. Surely the fear in gardens and springs. What's part? I mean, if I cannot translate these 5 words, I should not translate a thing.
Yeah. Wow.
46.
Okay, so let's go back up 45. Surely the Fira and gardens and in springs, enter it in peace, secure.
Sure. Allah said, come on into the gardens. Okay.
Keep going, because that doesn't make any sense still.
Yeah, it didn't help. All right, 47. And we removed from their chests any jealousy.
So I haven't found any reason to be jealous.
Yeah. Well, I guess
a few people have to be jealous of hell, or I mean, I really didn't.
But the rest of the verse is the most beautiful part. You're talking about something is not important. You left the jour, the beauty of paradise. Okay. Go ahead.
So he's going to remove the from their chest.
So we're starting with brothers here, I guess.
Brothers, face to face on beds. Oh, wait a minute.
That's a little disgusting.
Here you are with your beautiful 72 forever virgin, and you don't have to watch pornography. Just look at the other across
Wait,
the
so
other
these are
bed.
guys facing each other on a bed.
Woo, baby,
Forget the
sweet.
virgins. It's guys with guys.
Woo-hoo.
Oh
No,
boy.
no, I'll do it that way. So you can learn from each other, man. If you don't know how to, enjoy yourself in the paradise
All
on
right.
the beds, look at the other beds around and you learn.
All right,
Wow.
so brothers face to face on beds, no weariness will reach them, and
Oh
they
boy.
they're not going to
Oh,
get
And the
tired.
Quran is
Muhammad,
pornography.
Prophet of
The
Allah.
Quran has pornography in it, and it's disgusting. I'm sorry.
No, no, listen. Allah's apostle, sir. Yes, he
Broke
said,
back
if
heaven.
if I can have 72 forever virgin, how can I have the power and the energy to have sex with all of them? He said, piece of cake. I talked to Jibril about that the other day. It was a Friday and afternoon after we had the prayer. I went to and Jibril, and he told me that in the garden, men will have power to perform sex 100 times a night. And Muhammad, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, has the power of 40 men. Let me use my calculator because it's very important. We don't want to make mistakes. No
4,000.
mistakes here. Excuse me, sir. Hold your horses. 100 times 40 equal 4,000. Can you look at my computer here? I don't know if you can see my phone here.
Wow.
Come on, guys. You have to show this to the people. Here, look at this. 4,000 times a night.
Wow.
I mean, if you can use your imagination, just use your imagination. And here's Muhammad with 4,000 beautiful women. By the way, some of the women Muhammad is going to have in the garden, it's not just Hur Ain. He will be married to Virgin Mary, the mother of Isa, peace be upon him. Muhammad is going to marry the Virgin Mary. Muhammad is going to marry the wife of Potiphar, so the wife of Pharaoh in Moses' days. I mean, Muhammad's going to marry a bunch of women right and left. And all what Muhammad will do, next. That's what that all night. He's just one after one. I mean, how many hours during the night? 4,000 times a night? Use your imagination. This is how Muhammad literally chastised his men with sex. He enticed them with sex. Sex on earth will go to fight the Greeks and the Romans and will get these beautiful girls, white skin, blue eyes, and this and that. And we go, if you die, it's okay, don't worry. You're going to have forever virgin, lots of sex. Sex and sex and sex. I mean, while the Bible is very clear, in heaven they don't marry and remarry. The Bible is very clear, in heaven there is no sex. None of that. And by the way, in heaven there is no nights. When Muhammad promised him 100 times a night, and for himself 4,000 times a night, there's no night. Period.
Well, I'm going to be a little crass here. I'm going to say that if he's doing that many times a night, he doesn't understand how to please a woman. Let me put it that way. That's pretty simple. I mean, if he's got to do that many times,
how do you know?
sorry, he has no concept of pleasure.
You misunderstand. Muhammad is talking about how macho he is. He can please all.
He doesn't get the concept if he's doing that.
You know what?
What is he, the 10-second man?
And
That's what I'm thinking.
I think you
That's
guys
exactly
are
what I'm
very
thinking.
jealous because Muhammad is a macho man.
No, man.
I know
I
that.
The macho
Even-
pre-ejaculate, I'll say it.
Even the 72. Now, is that you're going to have sex with the 72 all in one day?
No, what's
Is it one a
amazing?
day?
What's amazing is Muhammad describes these versions that they're all the same. 33 years old, big, huge breast, big, huge eyes, and big, huge butt, and big, huge everything. They're all the same. He said, you will not know the difference between one and another. If there's no difference between one and another, one is enough.
So why do they have more than one? Yeah, that's exactly.
It doesn't make any. If it's me, give me 4. One fat, one skinny, one tall, one short. It makes sense. Not all the same.
Well, if they're all the same, Maybe it's because Allah really doesn't have 72 for every
Oh no, I
Muslim
think
guy,
it's worse than that. I think
and
it's because Allah
and
doesn't have any senses to tell the difference.
and they can cheat and they can cheat on you, and you would never know because they all look the same.
Yeah, that's true.
No, no, no. But see, that's the difference. Now, in the garden, these women never cheat on their husbands. They
Well,
only
that's
have
true. It
sex
says
with
that
their
in there.
husbands. Muhammad
Yeah.
assured us that. That's why it's okay to look across the street, see the other women with other guys having good time. You know?
They're not having a good time. I mean, they're getting abused, but yeah.
Okay,
The guy
last
thinks
verse.
he is.
Last verse.
The pre-ejaculate
49.
guy thinks he's
49, you sexual, mental, sick men. Go ahead.
Actually, we didn't finish 48. No
All right.
weariness will reach them, and they will not be driven out of it. Oh, so that means
They
you
are
won't be
in
driven out of
paradise
your
all
bed.
day, all night, man.
You're gonna be
Eating,
in
drinking,
bed,
having
so
sex.
there's no wonder they have all those nice, beautiful boys that don't bleed like pearls, because they're gonna be bringing you wine and honey, and so
Yeah.
you don't have to get up. Inform my servants.
There you
surely,
go. Those beautiful boys right there for my servants.
Yeah. Inform my servants. Surely I am the forgiving, the merciful,
Sure.
and that
If
my
he,
torment.
now, here's a question. If Allah is forgiving, merciful, why in the world he wrote verse 50?
And that
I
my
was
torment
trying to
is the
figure
pain.
out.
That's because Allah loves torment more than he loves mercy.
And that my torment is the painful torment.
Brother, that's what I call internal contradiction in two verses, one after another. If Allah is forgiving, merciful, that is
I think that's because verse 50 abrogates verse 49.
no, he's forgiven for his servant, but he's tormenting those who did not believe in him, the infidels. And if you investigate the Quran, surprise, surprise, these infidels, the Christians, the Jews, and the Majus, and the idol worshiper, all of them became infidels. They did not believe in Allah because Allah led them astray. What a sick Allah. He lead me astray, make me believe in Jesus that he died on the cross, when in reality, it was not Jesus. It was somebody look like Jesus so he can send me to hell. Wow.
Well, I mean, we just read earlier where Allah is the one who seduced the people and led them to go to Satan.
Sure. He allows Satan to seduce him.
Yeah.
Allah gives Satan the permission, go for it, Satan, and seduce all them people who follow or who it's just nonsense. This is the beauty of the Quran. Nonsense. Okay? Yeah. And don't forget, you need to end it with Allahu A'lam, and Allah knows best. And don't forget, if you have any hard question, 101. End of story. You got it.
I'm going to have to remember that one for a while.
Here's that verse 42. Surely my servants, you have no authority over them. So he's telling Satan, you have no authority over my servants. Except those who follow you from the seduced.
You leave the word except. The exception of the Quran is the beauty to come up with every answer for every problem. Exception.
So, I mean, clearly, it's really not Iblis who's doing the seducing. He has to get permission from Allah to seduce, and Allah is going to tell him who he can seduce. So, therefore, I mean, that's just wrong.
Yeah,
you are wrong, sir. Allah is
Allah is not wrong. A just God.
You infidels gonna burn in hell if you don't repent and convert to Islam.
Yeah, it's kind of scary when you look at who Allah is versus who we are told He is.
Besides being a very confused God,
it's getting real dark here. I'm not gonna stay with you on one more minute, bunch of infidels. I'm gonna go eat my breakfast.
All right.
All right.
Good night, Usama. See
and
you
I look forward to see you again next Saturday. God bless you all.
God bless you. Be safe.
We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to call it a night. 2 hours and 9 minutes. Not bad. And I guess we'll finish. Yeah, we should finish that next Saturday.
I think we'll probably be into verse 6, chapter 16.
Yeah, because we've been doing about 50, so every 2 hours. And this chapter is only 90 something, so we'll start chapter 16.
Yeah.
So Larry, thank you for coming. I'll see you on Clubhouse as always. We'll have to get Osama on Clubhouse. He'll attract all the Muslims.
Good night, my special friends. God bless you
All
all.
right.
God
All
bless.
right, you guys have a good one.
Good
All
night.
right, everybody. Let me end the broadcast. I'm going to have to do an intro one of these days.